What up, welcome back to the channel. I'm J and we are locked in. This is episode 8, the season finale of BMF Black Mafia Family. And let me tell you, we have a lot of stuff going on. A dead cop, Lamar is shot, we can't pay Big L, and we still don't know which side Kato is on. But before we jump into this finale, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you want to be a part of it, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button, it's the easiest thing you can do. Now, we have a lot of questions we need answered, and we want to know, are they going to leave us on the cliffhanger? And is Lamar going to get offed in the finale, or is he going to make it to season 2? Because as of right now, 2021, Lamar is the biggest villain we have on TV. So let's jump into it. This is the season finale of BMF Black Mafia Family. What was going on in the D wasn't happening everywhere. Young black dudes hustling in Detroit were trendsetters nationwide. Our series needs to absolutely show that. Demetrius Big Meech Flenory. We start the episode off with Kato, and she's just chilling, and guess what? Lamar shows up. Now we know at the end of episode 7, Lamar actually went to B Mickey's house, and he was talking to Kato and telling her, you need to get Meech. You need to do what you need to do, or I'm coming for you, and I'm going to handle T. So when he gets here, he's still shot up because he's been on the run. We know that Mo kicked him out the house, and he doesn't have anywhere to go at this point. 12th Street turned their back on him. And she's like, what's wrong with you? He's telling her, Kato, you need to do what I told you to do. Why are we still stalling? And she's trying to tell him, well, I got this information because I'm messing with B Mickey, but security is going to be heightened on Meech. He's supposed to be meeting with the new plug. I told y'all about Lamar. He's smarter than what everybody thinks. And he's telling her, Meech ain't about to be going to re-up without no shooters around him. And also he's telling Kato, this seems like it may be a setup. If I find out you crossing me, that's your ass. At this point, Lamar has nothing to lose. He has no one in his corner. The whole time, B Mickey was watching Kato talk to Lamar. Now we know that these two, they like each other, so she's starting to depend on Mickey a little bit, and we already know he's kind of caught up in the game because she threw that thing on him 1 or 2 times and he's hooked. But now the police are starting to crack down because there's a dead cop, so they need to start questioning everybody on the block, and they actually pulled him over while he was following Lamar. Now T, he's going back to school because they know Lamar is shot and he's on the run, so that's less of a threat. We also have the 12th Street boys helping us out. So, you know, for the most part, it's kind of calm in the streets because we know Lamar ain't really getting no get back. He's back at school, he's walking around, but it turns out, you remember the teacher that was helping him? They done called the police and showed him where T is. Now the cops are cracking down on everybody that was originally affiliated with the 50 boys. When I tell you they picking up everybody, we got B Mickey. We just got T from school. Now they pulled up on our boy Big Meech at his baby mama Lori's house. And he's like, man, what's going on? They like, nah, you under arrest. They know what's going on. You even got Detective Brian on the scene. I'm talking about, he's talking bad to Lori. He's talking about, get the fuck back in the house, because he's trying to get Meech. And we already know he's separating himself from the streets because we know the commander, she's on him, especially with Detective Lopez being killed. Oh man, these streets, they hot. Look at Meech. Now, you know they're getting brought in for this murder because at this point, that's the most important thing. Also, there was the murder of little Darius, but a cop precedes everything. If a cop dies, that's where they're going to really be out here searching for other suspects. Now, they got all of the 50 boys in here, and you hear Meech saying, we got to be in here because of the cop that Kato killed. Now, T's trying to figure out stuff, and he's saying it may have been Kato that snitched. But you know B Mickey's gonna stick up for her, like, nah, she was a snitch. She ain't even like that. And him and T, B Mickey and T, they don't really see eye to eye, and they've been going at it since we started the series. But Meech tells them, hey, y'all just shut up, man. We got to figure out how to get up out of here. We know none of us did it, so but we ain't talking to the police because that's one thing we don't do around here. We don't snitch. It's shh. Now, when the police started to pick up everybody, they all dropped their drugs. So, you know, you don't ever want to get caught with that or any guns on you because then they're going to start bringing in all kinds of other charges. Now, Meech uses his one phone call. And what does he do? He calls the Parks and Recs. You remember in the first episode, they were trying to take over the little park and everything. So they had Detective Bryant go get that lady off of their case pretty much. So he calls the Parks and Rec. He tells his homeboy, hey, I need you to pick up all those drugs and stuff for me because the cops, they might come over there or someone else can take our stuff. So at least they got somebody on the inside to recoup everything that they have because we know we got to pay back Big L. If we ain't got no product, we ain't got no money. Meech is in the interrogation room and Commander Beckwith comes in and she's basically threatening them, saying, hey, if we don't get anything on you, we'll bring your sister in. And, lying to a cop, we're going to put that pressure on her. What she's trying to do is get Meech to crack. But we know he's not going to say anything to incriminate himself. And he's going to look out for his little sister. Because at the end of the day, her being a minor, yeah, the pressure will be put on the parents. But if a kid says they don't know anything, then the courts usually let that ride. I don't know who that guy was that stabbed Darius. So they're trying to get Meech to talk about and confess about the murder, anything that he knows about it, while using the little sister to, talk about the crime that Lamar did on Darius. Now, you remember Karen was trying to help them on the court case. This whole time, Charles has been the one actually messing things up, talking about, I don't like her because of her uncle, Pastor Swift. And they had a $25,000 offer at the beginning. Now they're trying to bring it back to court. And they also had a nurse. If you remember, when Lucille came in there to talk to her, they said there may be a potential nurse that could be a witness. Well, this nurse was there and said they smelled liquor on the surgeon's breath, meaning that they probably messed up the surgery on T. Now the offer is $250,000. After taxes is about $130,000, so $150,000. So they'll be losing a lot of it after the fees and taxes. That's why we say when you're doing the settlement, you tell them we'll do $250,000, but we'll do it after the lawyer fees and after taxes. So they'll get their own money and then you'll get the $250,000. But Charles, he knows he was wrong and he thanks Karen and tells her, thank you for everything and I apologize how I was treating you in the beginning. Now, after Meech gets out the interrogation room, everyone gets released. Why? Because they don't have any evidence of any of them doing any kind of wrongdoing to Detective Lopez. And like I mentioned earlier, no guns, no drugs. You have to let them go. So when they come out, they're all looking into the office. They're flipping off Detective Brian and all the cops like, y'all ain't got nothing on us. But you hear Commander, don't let them sell one nickel bag without coming down on them. So it's going to be hard to move in these streets when we know for sure the cops are watching. They don't want them to do anything. Jaywalking, bring them in. As they're leaving, though, we see B. Mickey. He looks over at Detective Bryant. And we're wondering what's going on here because they were the ones that pulled B. Mickey over first. And he's looking at the cops like, man, something ain't right. We still need to know where the loyalty of Kato resides. So when they leave, he tells Kato to ride with him. And what he does is he asks her, how did she get into this lifestyle? Because T mentioned in jail, what do we even know about her? Why is she in a dope game? And she's saying her dad used to run with some other guys, some black killers in Detroit. His name was Clifford. So Meech is saying, I may have knew your dad because we knew he was around Pat since he was a young one. And Pat at that time when they were little was a big dog. So she's saying me and my mom, we moved to get away from certain things, especially away from what her dad was doing. Now we know her dad, Clifford, actually worked with Lamar. And she caught a body that Lamar took. So that's, you know what I'm saying? Even Meech said, hey, I may know your dad if he was a big timer playing around that stuff. So there's kind of a link there. But if Meech puts one and one together, that equals two, meaning your dad hung with them. Lamar's older than us. He may have hung with them. But what he does tell Kato is, as of right now, you're loyal. Why is this? Because she actually killed Detective Lopez when they were trying to get away and saved him from getting arrested. Lamar is on a run. We know he's bleeding all through his shoulder. He got to find somewhere to go. He can't go to the hospital because he's definitely going to get brought in for that. Now he goes over to a mortuary and look who they got in here. Ashy Larry. Now he's in here and he's stitching Lamar up. And Lamar's like, man, this hurts. And he's talking about, hey, man, chill. We got the hard part out of the way. He putting the little stitches in. Lamar saying, you got any pain medicine? And he starts making jokes like, look around here. Anyone here that needs pain medicine, raise your hand. All of these bodies are dead bodies. So he's joking around like, what would I have pain meds for? But before he gets up out of here, Lamar says, hey, man, can you do me one favor? Hey, you remember little man that was outside when Lamar got the drop on Meech and they started shooting up? He ran. He didn't tell Meech that Lamar was outside. Well, they found Lamar's car and it's at the mortuary. So they call up Meech. Meech pulls up. Oh, he's inside? Let's go get him then. They bust up in the mortuary and we got Ashy Larry in here. I'm just going to call him Ashy Larry because that's my favorite skit that he was in on the Dave Chappelle show. But he's in here and they like, man, what are you doing? Because he's talking about, ooh, look at them titties. Meech tells everybody, look, don't leave this building until we search every single casket. So that's what we seen in the trailer. We were thinking maybe someone died, but really Lamar was here getting stitched up, and now they're searching the building to try to find him, see if he's hiding, because his car was outside with blood in it. Now we heard Lamar say, hey, let me get a favor out of you. And the favor was, let me get the hearse up off you. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't want to drive around in the same car. He knew people were looking for him. Hey, this man Lamar is smarter than what you guys think. I'm telling you, he's the best villain of 2021. Well, y'all got another reason to hate Charles. We know we're about to get 250,000. When I say we, I'm talking about Meech, Terry, Nicole, Lucille, Charles, Mo. We about to get 250,000, 150 after taxes. Charles is like, oh, I talked to Paris Swift, honey, and what I'm gonna do is open up a car service with this money. You know I've been trying to do this. And Lucille saying, wait a minute, that's not our money. If Terry wants this, then all right, this is what he can do. But until then, this isn't ours. What will come to us is ours. He's like, look, Terry and Meech don't own that. They don't deserve that money after everything they put us through. This man Charles trying to use the money to do his own thing. Like, all right, hey, Charles, come on now. Your son got shot in the eye. You trying to take his money and do your own thing? Now, we at the record store, and you can hear people, we got to come up with a name. They talking about, how about the Mafia Family? And they talking about, hey, man, we black. We not Italian. So that's just a hint on where the Black Mafia family came from. But we're still the 50 boys, a.k.a. the family at this point. B. Mickey shows up, and he's like, man, where y'all been? Because, you know, he was the last one to leave the police station. Now, Meech and them went to go look for Lamar. And when they get here, he's asking B. Mickey, how the east side looking? He's like, it's cool. It's straight. But there's a little crew over there that they may not, you know what I'm saying, roll over like that where we can take over and move our work. And Meech is saying, well, I plan on them, you know what I'm saying, rolling over so we can just move in, because it's easier to deal with another crew than it is to deal with the police, especially in the times we're in right now. The family comes to collect this check from Karen. Now, since Terry is up under the age of 18, it's going to be inserted into a trust, meaning they won't have access to the money unless a court and his parents agree to invest the money into something. You can't just take the money out and have cash. It has to be going into a direct investment. Now, Terry's upset saying, this is the money that I'm owed and I can't use it. But you see, you have hospitals and big corporations, they do this just to tie the money up a little bit longer in case they can find anything else going on. They can say, well, wait a minute, let's try to take them back to court and get that money back. So that's why they put it into a trust. Most of the time when you put it into a trust, you just do an investment to go ahead and get it out. So that's why the family, you see Charles is upset saying, man, this ain't right. We supposed to have access to this money. At least let the parents control where the money goes. But it has to be agreed upon. The parents and the court has to say it's a good investment. Now, we on the east side. There's a little crew that they may not lay down as easily as we want them to. But we rather have issues with another crew than with the police. Because one thing the police have that other crews don't have, endless resources. Talking dollars, people. Now, DC Young Fly is playing the rival guy. I won't even say a rival. He just has another crew, and he comes in to the little store and like, hey, y'all need to get up out of here. Now, Meech comes in because this other crew, yeah, they got some guns and stuff, but Meech got to work for lower and better prices than anybody else has. So he tells them straight up, what would your boss think if he knew that I came in to offer him more work for lower prices and you messed it up? So now they thinking, oh shit, let me hear what Meech got to say. Because one thing you don't ever want to mess up is the money for whoever you work for. You mess up the money, you might as well, hey, life is canceled. Now, I couldn't find where DC Young Fly's character name is, but he works for a guy named Boom. So they go to the casino and they start gambling with him. Now, Meech goes in the back and he starts talking to Boom, and Boom is telling him, I like what you're doing. You know, you got courage and stuff to come back here. But to say that I need more work and I need better prices, it's a little disrespectful. I don't need none of that. So pretty much stay in your lane. And Meech is just telling them, I have an opportunity for you because we really out here, we getting there. Also, after Boom tells Meech, you know what I'm saying, I'm not, you know what I'm saying, I'm really not in the mood to do business with anybody new because we have our own little thing going. Meech asks him, hey, you know about a guy named C-Love? And we're talking about Clifford, Kato's dad. And she told Meech that he runs with the BK, the Black Killers. Nah, Boom said, nah, he don't run with them. He runs with another crew. And I told you in the car, if Meech ever puts one and one together, okay, that means Clifford. He didn't run with the BKs. He ran with a crew that Lamar used to run with. He hasn't connected the dots yet, but he's seeing that Kato was lying to him, and he just put his trust in Kato because she saved him when it came to Detective Lopez. Kato pulls up to B. Mickey's house, and she's telling him, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. When Meech pulled me off and we did that one-on-one in the car, I was shook. Now, she lied and told Lamar that Meech is supposed to be meeting with a plug tonight. And we heard Lamar say he's going to be there with shooters. But Lamar, he doesn't have anything else to go off with, so he kind of believes it. She's telling B. Mickey, I lied, and we may have missed our opportunity to get rid of him. Because when B. Mickey was watching, the cops, they pulled up and got him, so he couldn't follow Lamar. So B. Mickey comes up with an idea to play hero ball and say, hey, tell Lamar it's still going down, and instead of Meech being there, I'm going to show up and I'm going to kill him. Now, one thing I learned about being hero and going above and beyond in life, 9 times out of 10, you don't want to do it. If this is the case of what's really going to happen, you need to go tell Meech, Lamar's potentially going to be here tonight. You know what I'm saying? Let's make something happen, because all you're doing is putting yourself in danger. And another thing, Lamar's been to B. Mickey's house. After the conversation, they go and have sex. You don't need to be having sex in this house no more, knowing that Lamar knows how to get in here and he knows where you stay. And at this point, he has nothing to lose. B. Mickey is, and I'm talking about whipped, people. I know a lot of people really haven't liked Charles over how he's been acting throughout the series, and that, that's understandable. But he has an idea and a plan that he wants to put forward with this money that they're getting from the settlement. So he takes Terry and he takes Lucille to somebody else's house that's actually having a car service, and he shows them this is the price that they have for their cars. This is what they make each week. And within a year, you'll be in the black. Black meaning you're positive. Red is always negative. So he's telling Meech, this is your way out of the game. You start a car service, you could bring in $100,000 a year, and all you're doing is just renting them out. You put a driver in the car. So Terry's looking at it like this isn't that bad of an idea. Meech shows up to a chop shop where he's getting a little stash. You know what I'm saying? You press the eject button, you turn the volume up 2 notches, turn the heat on, and then a secret compartment drops out where you can put your gun, you can put your drugs in. Now, B. Mickey comes and meets up with Meech here, and Meech is saying, hey, you broke up with Kato? And he's lying. He's talking about, yeah, man, I been did that. And Meech is saying, look, you've been loyal to our family, and I respect that from you, because if everybody was as loyal as you, then we'd be running the streets by now. So B. Mickey actually comes clean. I just told you guys when they were at the house, he needs to tell Meech what the plan is. Don't be a hero. Tell Meech so you can actually have more guns out there to actually take out Lamar. But it turns out Meech is doing exactly what I said. He's putting 2 and 2 together, and now he figured out, yeah, Kato has been working with Lamar. And B. Mickey comes clean like, what would you have done if I didn't tell you? And he looks at him like, man, I would have, you already know what we would have done. But now he's telling them, all right, the plan that you have in place, we're going to continue to do that. We're going to try to set Lamar up tonight. And maybe if he knows that we trying to do this, then it might just work. And I've been telling you guys, Lamar isn't as dumb as people make him believe. And Meech even says, hey, that crazy dude, he ain't dumb. He is not dumb. Meech goes back to the record shop and he's talking to Terry, and it's been on his mind. We already know he wants to run the organization like the mob, the mafia. So he tells Terry, look, what do you think about BMF? And Terry's like, what is that, Big Meech Flenory? He's like, nah, Black Mafia Family, bruh. We gonna run it that way? Terry kind of, he makes a joke like, yeah, you are kind of conceited, so I can see it being that way. But then he says, nah, that's actually pretty dope. So now we officially have the name BMF, Black Mafia Family. Now, what's going on here is we still got to be able to make things happen in these streets. So Big Meech promised them, the crew on the east side, 5 keys. And T saying, bro, that's all the work we got. And this is where Meech tells him the difference between you and I, T, is you too nice. I go after what I want. And what he's saying is we can re-up. We just got to get to Big L. Let me come with you. But we know Big L doesn't want to work directly with Meech. And T is saying, nah, you can't come in and do this. But we can't piss her off because he already went over there, and at the art gallery, they were talking about, hey, y'all not being able to pay, that's y'all issue. That ain't got nothing to do with Big L. So T just wants to make sure that his relationship with Big L is good. But Meech, he's like, man, let's get it. Lamar showed up to the spot a little bit earlier just so he can see what's going on. And he's looking over there. He's like, wait a minute. These fools trying to set me up. Lamar seen this setup coming from a mile away. So he goes into this little place where they in there two-stepping. They chilling. We got good drink. We got good smoke. You know how we get down on a weekend night. And he grabs Kato up like, you trying to get me set up to get me killed? The plan that Meech put in place worked out perfectly. They wanted Lamar to know that they were going to set him up so they would come after Kato. This would be an easy target. So while Lamar has Kato, Meech tells him, you think we care about a rat, a snitch that's working with Lamar? Even B. Mickey comes out and puts his gun on him. So at this point, hey, all guns is on you, Lamar. Now Lamar's tripping out, talking about Kato, he used you. So he's like, damn, I really ain't got nothing else going on right now because I got a gun on her. But if I kill her, they don't care about her already. They gonna definitely get me after this. Well, I tell you, Lamar was thinking about it, so he tried to pull that thing on Meech, and Meech said, not today. Bah! Got him right in that stomach. We already know he got that bullet up in his shoulder. Meech stands over him. This is fictional, people. This did not happen in real life. We ain't got no bodies on us. But he stands over and he asks Lamar, did you shoot my brother? It don't matter because I'm going to watch you bleed out and die. So he does want to know. Now, you see, Kato got low because at the same time, we don't know what Meech is going to do to her. Because if she's been working with Lamar this whole time, if the police crack down on him, she could still be potentially a snitch. What I tell you, Kato could still potentially be a snitch. And this whole time, she's been playing both sides. B. Mickey comes over, pulls a gun on her. She's talking about, I love you. The whole time, she's been playing him, leading him on, lying. So he goes ahead and put a bullet in her too. He stands over and tells her, I love you too, boo. Puts another bullet in her. Hey, I told y'all B. Mickey too loyal, man. He ain't going out like no sucker. Even though he was caught up 7 episodes. Hey, episode 8, he got his trust back. Loyalty is thicker than water. B. Mickey and Meech, they go back to their mom's house. They go back to Lucille and Charles's house. And I never understood why they do this. Y'all got rid of Lamar. Y'all got rid of Kato. Go post up somewhere where there isn't a mom snooping around. And B. Mickey is saying, Meech, I killed the first girl I loved, man. It's easy for you to say something like that because you don't love anyone but yourself. But Meech is saying she was going to cross you sooner or later. If they would have never got the jump on Kato, it could have easily been Lamar getting rid of B. Mickey. We seen that when he pulled up to the house. Now Lucille comes down and she's looking, but B. Mickey's playing it cool. He's like, oh, hey, Mama Lucille. Lucille's doing like any mom would. She sees that B. Mickey's been drinking. She's like, nah, you're not gonna drive home, lay down. But she looks at Meech like, why are you here? He's like, I'm just passing through, Mom. She notices that none of the guards are sitting outside anymore. You remember there used to be a guard that followed Nicole around and that would just actually sit outside the house. And Meech explains to his mom, you don't have anything else to worry about. And she's thinking, well, whatever you done, I don't want no parts of that. And he's trying to tell her, Mom, I'm still your firstborn. You gotta understand and respect and accept me for who I am. But none of this is your problem. And I took care of the situation. But she's looking at him like, nah, this ain't my son. Terry and Meech, they go to meet up with Big L. We know she doesn't want to do any kind of business with Meech because he's too flashy. But when they get in there, Meech is like, oh man, look at this. And he picks up a piece of art. Big L says that's worth $250,000. If you're not going to buy it, then get out of here. And Meech is saying all that money in that bag is been through my hands too. So you work with me, just not directly. Big L's not trying to hear that. There's no small talk with her. She pulls straps out on him. It's like, nah, Meech, get out of here. I don't deal with you at all. So she means business, and business she does. Big L comes over and tells T, whatever just happened, it won't ever happen again. Your brother is not allowed here. And he's saying, well, Meech is right. Me and him are going to work together and we're trying to expand. We want 10 keys. Now, Big L, she's saying, is this something you really want to do? And T explains, we don't have any more problems. We're expanding. So that means we're going to be able to make more money, and 10 keys is what we need. So Big L, she said, that's what I wanted to hear. But if you guys are ready for this, then you're going to have to be on top of it. Because now they don't have any issues in the street. Lamar is gone. All it is expansion time now. B. Mickey, he's driving off, and all he can do is thinking about Kato. He killed the loved one, the first woman he loved. So he's reminiscing about everything that they had going on. Now, what do we know? He has been drinking. He was at Lucille's house. He was supposed to just chill for a little bit. But while he's driving, the cops pull him over. Of course, it's Detective Brian's old hating self pulling over our boy B Mickey. Come on, man. This is all bad. Like, you want Meech that bad that you want to pull over B Mickey? He ain't did nothing. T drops some things off to Meech, and Meech is talking about, oh, she really gave us tea and keys. Hey, get the crew together. We got to celebrate. This is epic. Now, T's looking at it as, hey, man, this is business. We still got to move all this. And also, we had the Lamar issue over our head. But Meech is thinking, I got rid of him. We ain't got nothing to worry about. The person that killed the cop, Kato, she gone too. So as of right now, our hands are semi-clean. But T's like, dog, this isn't what we need to be doing. We need to figure out how to move this work. Terry goes back home and he sees how things are going with Meech and then being in the dope game. So he tells his parents, I've been thinking about that car opportunity. But in between this, Wanda gets up with Terry Jr. and says she's going to live in Pennsylvania because she gave him an opportunity to get out the game. And Terry was saying, I was taking my time to make sure it's right. He doesn't want her to leave with his son, but this is what she has to do. She wants to remove her kid away from the situation. So Charles walks her out and Lucille's telling her it's not that bad. But what she's also hinting at is if you can get out the game, then your family will come back. Once they get in the interrogation room, Detective Brian ain't even playing. Like, it ain't even fair no more. They find a gun in the stash spot. Yeah, you didn't kill Lamar B. Mickey, but the ballistics from this gun, they match up with the person that killed J-Mo and Kato. And what he's telling B. Mickey is, look, this ain't no game. This gun can come up missing in evidence, or you can go down for both of those charges. All I want is Meech. Tick-tock. So now we got to see how loyal is B. Mickey. Is he really going to give up Meech to get about this jam? Or is he going to take this charge? The brothers meet up and Meech is showing T, hey, look what I got now. BMF. I'm talking about Diamond out. And Meech is like, yeah, baby, we ain't taking over the D. We about to take over the nation and then take over the world. Because he's looking at it like we about to blow up. But you know, in the back of T's mind is, I want to get out this game low key so I can get my family back and see my son. I told you in the back of Terry's head, he wants to get out the game. He doesn't want to get shot at. He doesn't want to go to jail. He doesn't want to do any of that anymore. So he's saying, I'm going to go ahead and start this car service with Pops. And Meech is saying, why would you do that? You ain't never done that before. But it's a legit way and it gets him out of the streets. So Meech hears this and he's saying, well, cool. Dude cooked my car up. We can, you know what I'm saying, put little stashes in all your whips. And he say, I'm not doing any of that. And Meech is trying to convince him, bro, this is what we do. We hustlers. That's not going to be enough money for you. But it looks like Terry has his mind made up. He wants out the game. Now we see the older Meech in his 2005 and he's sitting in jail and he's explaining everything that happened. He came to the realization that Terry really wanted to be out the game. And not only did he feel like taking over Detroit wasn't enough for himself, he had to go bigger. Now, we don't know how season 2 is going to begin, but we know that at this point, Terry wants out the game and Meech, he wants to get bigger than life. There you go, the season finale of BMF. Did you think that Lamar and Kato were going to get popped? I had a feeling they may have kept Lamar till season 2. I didn't think Kato was going to be gone. Let me know what you think about that whole thing. Also, make sure you tune in Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do a 2-hour live after show discussion about the finale where we talk about the episode, the whole season, and we also give predictions for season 2. I'm Mo.J. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.